This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by AG1 by Athletic Greens. Happy Friday, everybody. Everybody except Donald Trump and his legal team. I have in my hands here a few paragraphs from the New York Times. And the reason it's not such a great Friday for Donald Trump is the fact that he has been levied a fine by a federal judge of about $1 million for his misuse of the courts. For those of you, and there are many out there who talk to me on Twitter and in the comments and in voicemails and emails, that Donald Trump will never see consequences, that the courts are going to look out for him because he's a wealthy, powerful man. Largely, I believe that is true about our justice system. There's certainly a multi-tiered system where the people at the top get special dispensations, unspoken dispensations because of their wealth and their power and their connection to power. Largely, that's true. I think that's an obvious statement to make. But for those of you who say nothing's going to happen to Trump, nothing ever is going to happen, this should be a little bit of a crack in the facade of the things you believe, because he's starting to see consequences. People in power, judges in this case, are starting to identify. I've got a lot of quotes here from this judge. They're starting to identify the problematic ways that Donald Trump has handled himself, in this case, especially in the judiciary. It's like pestilential almost, like when Charlie Kirk couldn't pronounce a very basic word with me. You'll have to go search that on Twitter. I didn't do a video about it. This to me is a good sign of things to come, that there's a crack in the dam. I'll keep the facade metaphor working. And Donald Trump is going to face some consequence. We're going to read from this, but before we do, a word from today's sponsor, AG1 by Athletic Greens. Another new year is already in swing, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am to be here talking about it. After my bout with colon cancer last year, I am more aware than ever before that I need to maintain healthy regimens in my daily life. Though I have since curbed my regular intake of smoked meats and capped my alcohol consumption, one habit that I've been glad to keep up is my morning nutritional drink, AG1. AG1 is a routine supplement designed to address two aspects of our well-being: our daily nutrients and our long-term gut health, which very much applies to me. Together, these impact everything from our energy and sleep to mood and digestion, even our hair and skin and nails. Head to athleticgreens.com/Dollemore to get your daily regimen in order. With your first purchase, Athletic Greens will give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free travel packs. Consistency is the key to maintaining your health. To guarantee my day goes right, AG1 is an essential part of my morning. Even when we're traveling, AG1's travel packs make it easy for me to stay on track. 1 scoop or travel packet of AG1 with 8 ounces of water. Every day, that's it. Though there are multiple benefits, I personally count on AG1 to assist with my focus. AG1's adaptogenic formula allows me to better zoom in on details and maintain alertness throughout the workday. When we are feeling our best, we show up better. I mean, see how great I look? Get your 2023 routine in place with AG1. With your first purchase, Athletic Greens will give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free travel packs. Go to athleticgreens.com/Dollemore now to get your green on. Your body will thank you. So let's brighten your day, send you into the weekend with some good news. Reading from this headline from the New York Times, judge orders Trump and lawyer to pay nearly $1 million for bogus lawsuit. In a scathing ruling, the judge said the suit against Hillary Clinton and dozens of the former presidents, the president's perceived political enemies was, quote, brought in bad faith for an improper purpose. This isn't just a judge with an axe to grind. This is someone who's sick and tired of their time, their job, the focus and direction that they've appended their life's goals to being misused. They're tired of maybe being a pawn in Donald Trump's game to clog the legal system with his insanity. In a scathing ruling, a federal judge in Florida on Thursday ordered Donald J. Trump and one of his lawyers together to pay a nearly $1 million in sanctions for filing a frivolous lawsuit against nearly 36 of Mr. Trump's perceived political enemies, including Hillary Clinton and the former FBI director, James B. Comey. What's interesting about this is, without the help of James B. Comey, Donald Trump very likely would not be president of the United States. No matter, though, Donald Trump is going to attack who he's going to attack. I mean, his greatest ally in government while he was president of the United States was Mitch McConnell. And now Donald Trump on an almost weekly basis is hurling abuse at Mitch McConnell, who deserves it, and also racist abuse at his wife, who doesn't deserve it. The ruling was a significant rebuke of Mr. Trump, who has rarely faced such consequences in his long history of using the courts as a weapon against business rivals and partners, as well as former employees and reporters. And it was the latest setback for Mr. Trump as he faces a broad range of legal problems and criminal investigations. His lawyers are increasingly under scrutiny themselves for their actions in those cases, as well as divided in the advice they are offering him. You'll notice that some of the lawyers that surround Trump right now are no name, no talent, just upstarts practically. Alina Habba isn't some high-powered, she's not a lawyer you seek out when you want the best. This is a quote from the judge. "This case should never have been brought," U.S. District Judge Donald M. Middlebrooks wrote in a 46-page ruling. Quote, "Its inadequacy as a legal claim was evident from the start." And this is scathing coming from a federal judge to the aforementioned Alina Habba. No reasonable lawyer would have filed it. Intended for a political purpose, none of the counts of the amended complaint stated a cognizable legal claim. While Trump has often blamed his lawyers for his problems, the judge in his ruling on Thursday addressed Mr. Trump's history of using the courts as a cudgel going back decades in his business career. If you watch John Oliver, he's done videos or he's done episodes of his show. I do videos, he does episodes. If you watch John Oliver, he's done episodes of his show about slap lawsuits that are just nuisance lawsuits filed by wealthy people to bury lesser powerful people, lesser wealthy people in the mire of a lawsuit, to dissuade them from going forward with whatever the action is. This is what the judge said. Quote, "Mr. Trump is a prolific and sophisticated litigant who is repeatedly using the courts to seek revenge on political adversaries," Judge Middlebrooks wrote. Well, let's just state for the record the obvious, that this might be the very first time in the history of time that Donald Trump has been described as a sophisticated anything. So let's put a tick up for this day. Let's mark this day in history. Donald Trump, described by a United States federal judge, described as sophisticated. He went on, quote, "He is the mastermind." Oh my God, what is happening with this judge? He's a sophisticated mastermind. Oh, let me get it together here. We will continue. There's just a few more quotes that I want to read. They're only getting better. Quote, he is the mastermind of strategic abuse of the judicial process, and he cannot be seen as a litigant blindly following the advice of a lawyer. He knew full well the impact of his actions. The New York Times continues here with more quotes. Judge Middlebrooks said Mr. Trump's suit had been, quote, brought in bad faith for an improper purpose and had needlessly harmed the 31 individuals and organizations, including the Democratic National Committee. He had sued, quote, in order to dishonestly advance a political narrative. The judge added that Mr. Trump's use of the courts had helped him undermine the public's confidence in them. And then finally, this quote here. A continuing pattern of misuse of the courts by Mr. Trump and his lawyers undermines the rule of law, portrays judges as partisans, and diverts resources from those who have suffered actual legal harm, he wrote. And then finally, he had to pay a fine to the tune of $937,989.39. And this fine was both Donald Trump's and the lawyer who filed the case for him, Alina Habba, and her firm, Habba, Madeo, and Associates. Nearly $1 million. Now look, again, just like the judgment with the case in the DA in Manhattan, a $1.61 million fine levied, the maximum in the state of New York. This also is a pittance. However, it does indicate that there are consequences coming the way of Donald Trump, and the system is no longer there to provide cover for him. At least there's a glimmer of hope for that. What do you think? I would love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. And if you appreciate what I do on this glorious Friday, please consider supporting my work. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you guys for your attention, for your viewership, for your loyalty, for your concern. You're beautiful people. Stay that way. Be genuine. Take care of one another.